Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I'm sharing with you all a makeup look which I've recently created in my cousin's wedding. So my cousin got married in lockdown and it was a beautiful wedding with just few people. And I wore this really beautiful gown which I bought from Lajpat Nagar, and I did this really pretty makeup look with glittery eyes and pink lips. It was a day wedding, so I just kept the makeup a little minimal, and I thought why not share it with you guys how I did my own makeup in the lockdown wedding. So now without further ado, let's start this video. So firstly, to moisturize my skin, I'm using this Clinique Moisture Surge, and I'm just applying a little bit onto my skin and then massaging it into my skin so that it completely absorbs into my skin and gives a very dewy and a moisturized skin. Next up, I'm using this Color Bar primer, and I'm just taking a little bit primer onto my fingertips and then just warm it up between my fingers and apply it to close my open pores. I like to apply the primer mostly on my T-zone of my face because that's where I have the most amount of pores, and I really like this primer because it helps in smoothing out the skin texture as well as it helps in building up the perfect base for the foundation. Now I'm using this MAC concealer in the shade NW35, and I'm using it to color correcting my skin. So I'm just applying this concealer around my lips and under my eyes just to color correct the skin. Now for the foundation, I'm using this M.A.C Studio Sculpt foundation, which also has an SPF of 15, which is really good for a day wedding. So I'm just taking a little amount of this foundation on the back of my hand and then using a beauty blender or a beauty sponge, I'm just applying it and blending it into my skin. So it's a medium to buildable coverage foundation which has a natural finish. I don't like matte finish foundation a lot, so I just prefer this foundation a lot because it has a natural finish and it also gives kind of a dewy look to my skin. And this foundation is best for the dry skin people because it has that moisturizing effect in the foundation which doesn't dry up your skin and makes it really dewy and natural looking. Now for the concealer, I'm using this Maybelline Age Rewind concealer in the shade Light. So I'm just using this concealer to highlight as well as conceal few parts of my face. So I'm just applying this concealer under my eyes just to conceal my under eyes, and then I'm applying it on center of my forehead, bridge of the nose, Cupid's bow as well as on the chin area, and I'm just slightly applying it below my cheekbones as well just to define them. And now using that same beauty blender, I'm blending all this out. Now I'm using this M.A.C Studio Fix Compact Powder in the shade NC35, and I'm firstly using this powder to set my under eye area. And then I'm setting my entire face using this compact powder. And this compact powder also has an SPF of 15, which is an extra layer to your SPF, which really protects your skin, especially when you're going to the wedding. You are exposed to sun and you really should take care of your skin in a day wedding. So this one is really nice and good, and it also adds a little bit of coverage to your skin, which looks really nice and beautiful. Now I'm using this contouring stick from Wet n Wild in the shade Oaks on You. And I'm using this contouring stick to define my face, and I'm applying it on the hollow of my cheeks. And I'm also gliding 2 lines onto my nose just to contour it. And lastly, I'm just applying it a little bit on the forehead and on the jawline area. Now I'm just blending all this out using that same beauty blender. And you must be thinking why I'm using the same beauty blender for all the work, because shadis mein aisa hi hota hai, you don't have much time to just shuffle between the sponges or the brushes, so you just do the task as quick as you can, and I just try to show you the same here. And after blending all this out, now it's the time to blend the nose contour. And for that, I've just pinched the beauty blender just the way I'm showing you here. So you just have to pinch it a bit and then use it to blend your nose contour. Or you can even use your fingertips to blend your nose contour. Now I'm using this NYX contouring palette just to set the cream contour, which we have already done. So now I'm just using this angled brush and I'm using this contouring shade just to set my cream contour and to also deeply define and sculpt my skin. But I'm not doing harsh contour or something like that because I want to keep it minimal and really natural looking. So I'm just applying it really light-handedly. So now after contouring the skin, now it's the time to add the blush. And for the blush, I'm using this Makeup Revolution 4K blush palette in the shade Pink. And on a fluffy blush brush, I'm picking up this shade and I'm applying right on the apples of my cheeks and blending it all this through. And I really like to apply the blush onto my nose, so I'm just lightly applying it onto my nose. Now for the highlighter, I'm using this Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter in the shade Molten Gold. And I'm just applying it on the high points of my face, like bridge of the nose, cupid's bow, center of the forehead, on my cheekbones, and a little bit on the chin area. Now after highlighting the face, our base makeup is done, and now I'm just moving forward towards the eyes. And firstly for the brows, I'm using this Mist Clear eyebrow kit, and I'm using it to shape as well as to fill in my brows. Now I'm using that same concealer but on a flat brush, and I'm using it to priming my eyelids as well as to cleaning out under my brows just to give it a more defined look. Now for the eye palette, I'm using this Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette. And I'm firstly using the shade Risk, which is a deep pink or a magenta kind of shade. So firstly, I'm just placing this shade into my crease area just to build up the intensity of the shade. And now after that, I'm just gently blending all this out. Now again, I'm just placing this shade into my crease and then blending it out, and I'm doing this way because I want to build up the intensity of this shade more and to create a really deep crease effect. Now I'm using the shade Demure, and I'm using this shade to buff out the edges of the deep pink or the magenta shade and to create a really nice transition. Now I'm using the shade Black Truffle, and I'm using the same technique, which is to firstly place the shade to build up the intensity of the shade and then gently buff it out or blend it out. I'm using this Black Truffle shade to deepen up the outer corner of the eye. Now I'm using the shade called Doll Face, which is a really nice fuchsia pink shade, and I'm applying this shade into my inner corners just to cover up all the inner lid space which is left. Now I'm using this shade called Rose Gold, which is a beautiful metallic shade, and I'm just applying this shade on top of the fuchsia pink shade. And I'm applying this shade with the help of my fingertip, but you can also use a brush to apply it. Now I'm using this Glitter Galaxy Pressed Glitter palette, and I'm using this shade from this palette. It's a very beautiful rose gold plus silver glitter, and I'm using my fingertip to apply this glitter because that way it works the best, and I'm just applying it on the middle of the eyelid. Now for the bottom lash line, I'm firstly using the shade Cocoa, and I'm just tightlining my lash line with this shade. Now I'm using this shade called Sandalwood, and I'm applying it just below the Cocoa shade and just using it to buff out the edges and to create a really nice transition effect. Now I'm using this shade called Moon Dust, which is a really pretty highlighting shade, and I'm also using it to highlight my inner corners as well as my brow bone area. Now I'm using this Faces Canada Magnetized Kajal, and I'm just outlining my lower as well as upper waterline with this one. Now I'm using this Makeup Revolution Renaissance Flick eyeliner, and I'm just applying a simple winged eyeliner with this one. Now I'm curling my lashes with an eyelash curler. And now I'm using this Physician Formula Mascara, and I'm applying this mascara onto my upper as well as lower lashes. Now I'm using this Maybelline Drama Gel Pencil in the shade Silken Turquoise, which is a really pretty turquoise eye pencil. And I'm applying a gentle amount of this turquoise pencil onto my lower lash line because this turquoise shade was a lot into my gown. So I just want to match a bit, and that's why I'm using this turquoise eye pencil. Now I've just added the false lashes and my eye makeup is done, and it's looking really beautiful and pretty. And now for the lipstick, I'm using this MAC Retro Matte Lip Color in the shade 2 Matte with Love. And now lastly, I'm using this MAC Fix Plus, which is a makeup fixing spray, and I'm just spraying it all over my face just to set this makeup. And yeah, that's it for this makeup look. That is how I created this makeup look for my cousin's wedding. I really love how this makeup turned out on the wedding day. It's really pretty with pink lips and really glittery eyes, which I absolutely love. It's a natural makeup look, which I absolutely love. And you can obviously change the lip color according to your outfit, or you can even go for a nude lips, which goes perfectly well with all the outfits. So yeah, that's it for this video. I really hope that you like this video. And if you like it, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. It will mean a lot to me. And yeah, that's it for today. I'll see you guys super soon with a brand new video. Till then, bye bye. Take care.